Hi guys, I'm Bruce.
I'm Zoe.
So today our topic is soccer gambling conspiracies. The World Cup is back again, Zoe. Have you been watching the games?
I haven't really watched, but I did place a bet.
So did you win or lose?
I lost. Not too much. A lot of my friends lost way more than I did, especially the ones who bet on Cape Verde. They said this match could be manipulated by these betting companies.
It might be possible. But just to be clear, everything we're seeing here are all conspiracy theories. Since you mentioned Cape Verde, let's talk about them first. Cape Verde was placed in Group H, along with Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. Now let's look at the FIFA ranking. Spain was number 2 in the world. Uruguay was number 16. Saudi Arabia was number 61. Cape Verde, they were all the way down at number 67. On paper, Spain and Uruguay were the absolute locks qualified from this group. Most people probably look at Cape Verde like they were just there for a World Cup vacation, show up, take some photos, enjoy on a trip, and then go home. But guess what?
What?
First match, Cape Verde versus Spain, World 67 versus World number 2. People were blindly dumping money into Spain, thinking it was basically free money. And the result? A nil-nil draw.
That's insane. One of my friends bet on that match and lost an entire month's salary.
Wow, that's rough. Then came to the second match, Cape Verde versus Uruguay. Uruguay is a traditional South American powerhouse, so people thought, okay, Spain was just a fluke. There's no way Uruguay chokes too, right? At very last, they'll scamper an away, but the result was 2-2 draw. By the third match, Cape Verde was playing Saudi Arabia. Their world rankings were pretty close, so a lot of people started thinking, Cape Verde managed to hold up both Spain and Uruguay, so they're bound to win this one. Some people were even betting on whether this match would have any goal at all. The result? Another nil-nil draw. The craziest part is, Cape Verde didn't win a single game. They still qualified from this group.
No way. Could it be that the betting company stepped in? Like they knew everyone was betting on Cape Verde to lose, so they rigged it behind the scenes. What's the relationship between the betting companies and the football industry anyway?
Some people see that betting company and FIFA are the real bosses behind the football industry. They co-author everything in the game. Of course, they genuinely want football as a sport to get better and attract more viewers, because that's how they make even more money. If nobody watches the matches, tickets don't sell, broadcasting rights lose value, and nobody places bets, then the betting company don't make any money.
No wonder I see so many football clubs with betting sponsor on their shirts.
Take a guess. How much the most expensive shirt sponsorship deal was worth?
20 million US dollars?
Actually, more than that. The most expensive one was Aston Villa front shirt sponsorship deal in 2024. It was worth 20 million pounds a year, which is about 25 million US dollars. But now, the Premier League has banned gambling company logos from appearing on the front of matchday shirts. By the way, speaking of the on-field Aussie football, there's another hilarious conspiracy. When the striker scores a goal, he goes absolutely wild running across the pitch, then all of his teammates rush over, tangle him to the ground, and pile like 8 guys on top of him so he can't get up.
Wait, why do they do that?
Because I think that striker signed an ad deal. If he scores, his job to run straight to that ad board and plant himself right in front of it.
Why not just have regular commercial break?
Because if you cut to a normal break, everyone runs to the bathroom. Especially in this World Cup, FIFA introduced hydration breaks. Once TV cuts to commercial, the fans cut to the bathroom.
Players hydrate, fans urinate.
Exactly. That's why goal celebrations are the best moments for ads. And as soon as you score, the commentator goes, "Goal!"
¡Gol de Colombia! ¡Gol de Colombia! ¡Gol de Angola!
On TV, hundreds of millions of people are all watching that brand being burned into their memory in the happiest moment of the game.
Or maybe also in the angriest moment of the game?
Yeah, especially if you bet lost. So when the striker scores, The first thing he does is to spot the camera and rush straight to the boards. And the defenders on his own team run over and tackle him and probably thinking, we're not letting you make that money. I think maybe how long you stay there on the board decides how many seconds of exposure you get paid for.
So it looks like the betting companies are their bosses?
Pretty much, the players' club, their market values, and even those massive contracts, none of them would exist without these big money backers. Some people even say South American teams are the ones most willing to play along with their bosses. Take 2022 World Cup in Qatar, for example, Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. The whole world was shocked. A ridiculous amount of money was poured into Argentina at the time. Everyone thought it was easy money. I mean, Argentina had Messi, there's no way they could lose.
The bigger the hype, the harder the fall. If Argentina had actually won, wouldn't the betting companies have gone bankrupt?
They wouldn't go bankrupt, but it would definitely sting. In the first half, Argentina took an early 1-0 lead with a penalty, and they even had 3 goals disallowed for offside. That means if Argentina really wants to score, they can easily put 4 past you at any moment. So some people started doubling down and chasing bets on Argentina win. But Argentina's thinking, if we just cruise to a 1-0 victory like this, the betting companies are gonna take a massive hit. Then came the second half. Boom boom, 2 shots, 2 goals. Saudi Arabia caught fire, banging in 2 goals in 5 minutes to take a 2-1 lead. If you clearly remember that second half, Argentina's 11 multi-millionaires on the pitch barely got their jerseys dirty. For betting company, this is a perfect game. First, Argentina went on a massive offensive in the first half to go up 1-0. Betting gamblers into chasing the bet. Then, in the second half, they practically gifted Saudi Arabia 2 goals. Everyone who bet on Argentina lost everything. The betting company was very successful. They felt Argentina had been very cooperative.
Oscar level performers. So Argentina won the World Cup that year?
Yep. But if we're talking about who generated the most insane profits for the betting company, it's got to be Brazil. In the group stage, Brazil secured 2 early wins advance ahead of schedule. In the third match, they faced Cameroon from Africa. During the game, Brazil was shooting non-stop, wasting chance after chance, and the final moment, Cameroon somehow scored a 1-0 upside victory. The match alone caused a huge swing in betting money. Then came the quarterfinal, Brazil versus Croatia. Croatia had just played 120 minutes against Japan, going all the way into extra time. They were exhausted. Brazil, on the other hand, had Neymar, Vinicius, and team full of firepower. They had just destroyed South Korea 4-1, so naturally, almost all the money in the world rushed onto Brazil. Whenever 90% of the world's money is on one side, that side can't be allowed to win. Because if they win, the betting companies would go bankrupt, they would have to pay everyone out. If you actually watch that game closely, how many golden opportunities did Brazil have during regular time? Neymar and Vinicius were taking turns hammering the defense, but why couldn't they score? Because in the regular time, Brazil played in a very controlled way, just enough, but never finished the job. I bet in the locker room, Brazilian coach laid it out for the players like this. Look at the board, boys. Everyone is on us. If we win, the betting company will be ruined and our big bosses will dump us. Every single gambler wins, only our bosses lose. We can't let that happen. So in the 90 minutes, Brazil kept smashing the post, missing chances, stepping at the key moments. Why? Because the betting is based on 90 minutes result. They figure, let's settle down the real winner in extra time.
But why wouldn't these teams cooperate with betting companies?
According to conspiracy theory, they've been feeding off gambling companies' generosity for a long time. And this generosity is completely legal. Gambling companies are the main sponsors backing every single giant club. Actually, a lot of players may not worth that insane prices. The premium on their value is paid for by betting companies, which is exactly why player prices get inflated so high. Everyone in the game understands the unwritten rule. We all rely on them.
Are there any teams that don't cooperate with their bosses?
Of course, for example, United States and North Korea don't cooperate with the bosses. In this regard, America and North Korea are actually on the same side. Honestly, the football is such an interesting sport. For the 3 year when there's no World Cup, America is the superpower. But once World Cup year arrives, the whole world flips upside down in minds of football fans. Brazil and Argentina suddenly became the superpower. I really felt like Brazil and Argentina are just too strong. Meanwhile, the United States suddenly goes from a superpower to a passionate underdog team. Personally, I feel a lot of sympathy for the United States. They don't play fixed matches, they don't cooperate with bosses, they don't just fight hard. They just fight hard with passion, but they often get eliminated. This year, they got eliminated by Belgium. Actually, the main reason I'm talking about all of this just to make watching football more interesting. I don't encourage anyone to gamble. I know a lot of people love football and love their favorite football players and might think, how could they possibly play fake matches? So this episode is just for entertainment only. Don't take it seriously. Just take it as conspiracy theories.